Hello and welcome to this vlog. My name is Kat and I run Loops by Kat. And this week I'm going to take you along with the Pokemon pattern I'm going to design. I've decided to make a little color series thing last week. I don't know when it's going to be uploaded, but last week at least I did a lot of purple Pokemon. So this week I would go in the reverse rainbow order and do blue. So I did ask on my Instagram by Kat for BLUE Pokemon suggestions, so I could make the Pokemon that was actually asked for. That is a bit more fun, and sometimes it just gives me a little more motivation to keep going. One of the things that I saw pop up a lot was Lapras, and it is a Pokemon that I've thought about doing myself when I decided to do this blue thing. It's a cool Pokemon, so I'm gonna do that. I started up on it last night, and I got the head somewhat finished. We have, take out some pins. We have somewhat of an egg shape. And then we have this little patch over it, in blue of course. I considered going for making the whole egg thing in blue and making like a cream patch down here because it is smaller than the blue patch. But the problem with this would be that the cream patch would stick out a little bit, and I was worried that that would give off the wrong look compared to this being a little over, and he does have a little over bite. His upper lip is a little further out than his bottom lip, so I thought that would be better. I also started on the body. It is just a increase out at the moment, and I will continue working on the body. After I'm done with the body, and the tail is gonna be part of the body too, but after I'm done with that, it is now the next day, and it's the evening next day. Last night I finished quite a bit. Our Lapras is now looking like this. He is big. I ended up finishing the body first, and I thought that was kind of boring because it just looked like a blue blob until the end, and it's a big blue blob, so I didn't want to bore you with too much of that. I then did the neck. I slip stitched a little circle onto the headpiece and crocheted from that, so it'll only have to be sewed on here close to the body. This is already attached perfectly. Here I just used increases on this side and decreases on this side a little less to get the shaping right. I think we're in a good place. We're kind of in a Loch Ness Monster place, but I think that should fit, so we're good. I decided to just go on and include the tail in the body to make my life easier, less sewing. Next up, we need the shell on top. We need the feet, both front and back, of course. I think I'm gonna start with the feet. I think the feet are looking fairly similar, both front and back. I might just do the same for them all to make it simpler. I am planning to do the feet in beige and then do a blue overlay like I did on the head. I think that'll be the better way to approach it with something like this. As you saw, we finished both of the front petals. I looked at Lapras the back pedals are smaller, so they're not the same. But I made the front ones. Of course, they need the blue cover. Used best from like this angle, I think. It looks to be the right size. I'm gonna make a smaller one. I'm just gonna stop the increases a few rows shorter than I did on this one. So they'll be basically the same, but just a smaller version of that. I'm gonna of course get on to getting this blue cover made as well. We're having a bit of a fun angle, but I think it's gonna be fine. I did all the legs for Lapras. I think this is the best way to see it. We have a lot of ends for the sewing. I usually do the sewing last to make sure everything will fit. And that ends up in kind of a mess. This is how Lapras is looking. We are missing the belly piece and a shield on top and some facial features. I will move on with the belly piece, I think, as that should be fairly simple, and I'm looking for something simple right now. I don't know if I showed you, but this is how far Lapras has come. We basically need the shell and some facial features, some curly ears, I think, and a horn, and then we should be good. I'm gonna try to make that happen today. I am gonna have to go in like 3 hours, so I don't really think it'll happen before that. And I have to go to my brother's to take care of his dog for a week. I'm gonna bring Lapras, so we are gonna finish it. Just not today, maybe. We'll see. It has taken a while for this Lapras. It's taken a solid week so far. I've had a lot to do. And he hasn't been prioritized that much. I will get back to it. We will finish 1 to 2 more in this vlog, I promise. As I told you, I have relocated. I'm now at my brother's house, taking care of his dog. This is her. I don't know if you want to be in the video, but she's pretty cute. So she's gonna join us, maybe, if she wants to. I am gonna finish Lapras today. I've decided. I want to finish him today. So that's what we're gonna get going, I guess. I need his facial features, and I need the spikes on the shield, and that is actually it. Something interesting outside. Change of plans. This shell I made way too small. I think I forgot to look at a picture and just like had it in my mind, and that was wrong. So I need to unravel this and do it again. I'll get this done before I make dinner. And then I can still finish it. It's fine, it's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. So I did the new shield. This is how we're looking. And it has to be stuffed a little bit, but that actually gives more of the right shape anyway. So I think we're good. But this is him so far, and needs 9 spikes on here. Needs 2 like curly ears and 1 horn, apparently. I'm gonna make some dinner now. I'm gonna make some wraps. Very simple, and I'm gonna have it for the next 4 or 5 days. It's the next day. It took me a lot longer than planned to sew Lapras together. It took apparently a million breaks, but we got it done. And here is our result. The lighting is a bit weird. Sorry about that, but I think it turned out absolutely amazing. And I'm really glad it's over. I decided when making the eyes that I was going for more of a cute looking eye rather than making them like the Pokemon, because the eyes were looking a little mean, and I tried to make something like that and I just didn't like it. So I decided to do more of a cute rounded version instead, and I like that a lot more. She's big. She's like the size of my head. But yeah, it's pretty big. It's a lot bigger than my other pieces. Like, for instance, this is a Bulbasaur, and this is the size that I usually go around. So Lapras is a lot bigger. It's like double in size. Because the body is just big and she's tall. Oh well, what can you do? Next up, I need to figure out what I'm gonna make. Of course, it has to be blue. I'm thinking Blastoise, because I feel like it's not gonna be as difficult as it looks. And I might screw myself over on that one, but I feel like we're gonna do a Blastoise. I kind of hate myself for saying that we're doing Blastoise, but now I said it, so we gotta do it. I drew this. I think he kind of looks like a pig in a way. I'm gonna take it a bit as I go to see how different things can add up. I'm gonna start with like the body piece, which I'm gonna do in like standard oval like I've done with Squirtle and Wartortle too. So that'll kind of match in that way. Then apparently his shell sits on like a backpack in a way. It goes like the white goes around his arm here, which is different from the other two, where it just sits there like on this shell part and then the arm sticks out. Here we have a backpack situation that we need to figure out. The head placement on the body is also a question mark for now, but I think we just gotta start. I got the body done. It's a circle and it's a little less wide on this side. It's nothing fancy. I can either work on the head next or the shell. And I'm kind of leaning towards the shell because I'm a little scared of the head and how that's gonna look. So I'm probably gonna do the shell to make it easier on myself. For the shell, I actually decided to do something a bit different. I increased out without spacing out the increases. That way we get this more clear hexagon, which the shield has already. I'm calling it shield, it's a shell. Shield shell, it's fine. So you can see that this has like a hexagon shape, and I did one round. You can actually, I think you can see it here, where I did it in the back loop, so you would see like an extra loop. And then I'm gonna just sew this piece right here, these edges out to continue that, but I thought that would ease out on the sewing. But the shell is almost done. It's something like this. A little hard to see, but it's something like this. Regarding the shell, I talked earlier about that it was kind of like a backpack, and it is. I just don't want to make it as a backpack per se. I'm doing the shell as one piece, so the brown shell with the right trim. He needs the shell to like lift up to have his cannons there. Those are going to be separate pieces as well. The cannons, obviously separate pieces as well, but that backpack thing around his arm is also going to be a separate piece that's going to go under the entire shell. And that is how I plan to do this shell. But I'm almost done with the shell, and when I'm done with the brown, I am gonna single crochet around in the front loops in white. Then I'm gonna do a couple rounds of single crochet and then single crochet through the regular stitch and the back loop of this brown to give like a rounded edge to the white. And it sounds confusing, but I promise it's really not that bad when you're actually working with it. Oh, hello. Hello. I have moved on to the head of Blastoise. It's definitely one of the more intricate pieces on this thing. I think I got it somewhat laced. It's gonna need like a little beige patch like under here, under the chin. So I'm gonna make that separate and hopefully it'll end up good. It is now the next day. We started out with going for a run, and the dog, Susie, is clearly in better shape than I am, as she ran 4K with a huge stick home. But last night, around midnight, I got a surge of motivation, so I ended up making his little arms. I'm gonna focus and potentially get him done. It is the plan to get him done today at least, and then this video will be up tomorrow. That's the plan. This is how we are so far. In the head, neck area, we have that the head is actually not connected. I think we are taking the beige part and just adding in a round of decreases to make it smaller and make it fit. Because this looks absolutely fine, it's just nicer to have something to attach the head fully to. And I'm gonna do the legs next, and then the tail. And then we're gonna figure out the head and the details on the head. Oh right, we need cannons. We need cannons too. So I need like brown patches that fit here and cannons. I also gotta do that. I think I'm gonna do that last. We're gonna start making the legs. The legs are fairly easy, I think. They're basically just basic increase, decrease, and then a flat bottom. Now I'm gonna put a round patch on top because it has like a kneecap of some sort, so I'm gonna do that. We have a partly finished Blastoise. He's looking like this. And like this from the front. I feel like it's not necessarily looking wrong, but I don't feel like it's looking right either. And I'm hoping that it's just because there's no stuffing in the shell and that he doesn't have ears yet or claws or anything like that. I think I'm just gonna try to keep going. The thing that's throwing me off right now is that the limbs will, when they're sewn on, be sewn on tighter so they aren't flailing about as much as they are right now. Of course, we need to finish the head. I think so far I'm happy with it. I'm gonna try to figure out something for his face. And hopefully that'll solve my issues with him. I made the chin patch. And I think it got better. I also adjusted like the body piece, this piece. I think it's better. I think we're getting the more of a right vibe. So we need some ears on him. Facial feet, he needs eyes too. And his cannons on the back. He looks Blastoise-y. And I ask for nothing more, honestly. I'm gonna work on some cannons, I guess. I'm gonna do like a brown half box something. So there's gonna be like a little space to put the actual cannon in. And of course we also need to make it look like a backpack. I forgot about that part. But I'm guessing it's just like a strip of white and sew it on, right? Something like that. I am much more happy with the progress now. I pinned them together again, and this is how we're looking. You got some little ears that are actually just like half circles folded over to make a triangle ear, and I think it fits perfectly. I made one of his little guns. I'll set something like that. But that is basically the only thing I need to crochet other than claws. And claws are extremely boring to both make and see being made. So I'm gonna spare you for that. And hopefully I'll end up I think I'll end up actually just waiting with the claws until he's sewn together in case I don't make it tonight. It's about 8:30 now, and I would like to get him done now, tonight. So maybe the claws are just an afterthought, and will get added just before the pattern releases. You can see where he's going without the claws on both hands and feet, of course. I forgot everything. I need some eyes for him, obviously. I think it's just gonna be a very small white triangle with some black embroidered in and some green eyebrows. I think he's gonna turn out nice. You didn't see it, but I finished Blastoise and I have him here. I think he turned out amazing. His face is a little interesting, but they usually end up a little interesting, especially when you've been looking at him without a face for so long, like I have. Then putting a face on, that's the last step. His face is his nose is a little uneven, but this is him. He has so many details that I don't even know. And he stands very nice too, right here with, he can stand easily like this on a table because of his claws. I ended up doing the claws anyway. Because of his claws, he has very nice balance actually. He is the size of my head, so it makes sense that he took 3 full days to make. It's not a quick project, that's for sure, but very rewarding as he turned out, again, amazing. I'm really happy with him. So we ended up making a Lapras and we ended up making a Blastoise, 2 very detailed blue Pokemon. So I'm happy with only doing 2, even though I usually go for 3 if possible. I brought yarn for a simpler, like a Wobbuffet or something like that, but honestly, this was more of a challenge than I thought it would be. I'm gonna continue this and make some green Pokemon in the next video. So give me suggestions. And with that, I'm gonna say thank you so much for watching this vlog, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Enjoyed some of my thoughts on these types of things and how I actually design my patterns. Bye!